Thank you to Surae for sponsoring this video. Hello and welcome to this video where today I've come out on a bit of a scouting mission. So we are on some land that Tim's family owns, and he has said that I am allowed to go out and about and see about finding some potential locations to put up some sort of temporary hides to see what we see and how we get on. So I'm starting at the bottom of the hill because I can park right next to where I want to go, and yeah, hopefully earmark some potential locations where I could put out sort of maybe like a hide in the future, which is pretty cool. First of all, we've got to see if I can get up here with this tent, with this bag with my little chair hide in. Probably wasn't the best day to just wear trainers, really, was it? If I do find a spot, I'll probably make sure that I get better access to get up and down to it. Oh my God, there's so many gorse bushes. Hopefully, we might get lucky today. I think it's unlikely, but hopefully we'll see something. And thinking, ooh, if I can hide myself in the pop-up tent, then if there is something that's around and a bit shy, it might come out. You never know. So I've had a bit of a look around, and I think this has got sort of the clearest view out between these young trees growing up. So I think what we'll do is we'll set up here, and then I don't know, we'll sit and wait, maybe probably not too long, maybe about an hour or so, and hopefully we can see something. There are definitely ledges here where birds have been sitting because there's loads of bird poop. Am I going to be able to get it back in the bag afterwards? That's the question. Hoping that my field of view is not going to be, ow, brickles, too obstructed. Whilst I'm in there, because obviously I can't go too far back, else I'm going to fall down that dip. I'll put the tripod in and we'll go from there, I think. And put that under there, I think. And it's a good job I'm not the biggest of people and I can sort of fit in. I haven't even put the plate on, I'm that unready. That's not a word. Right, let's set this up, I think, first. I am set up here in my little pop tent now. I've got the camera all set up on the tripod, so it's a case of sitting and waiting and hoping that something's going to come. Like I said, there are a few little poop covered ledges, so we might get lucky. It's quite quiet at the moment, but I think that's because I've just been faffing around getting situated. So what we'll do is we'll sit here and wait and cross everything and yeah, just see what happens. So it's going to be a bit of a long stint, I feel, sitting out here in the hide waiting for the wildlife to show up. So while I'm waiting, I'm going to hand you over to Future Joe, who's going to talk to you all about the new Surae SVS60 tripod with the S3 fluid head that I've been sent to try out. So let's talk about the Surae SVS60 tripod. So the big feature here is the one-step height adjustment on the legs, where you twist the legs here at the top and they deploy to the height that you need. Now, this did take a bit of getting used to. However, having used this tripod for a while now, I do find it a bit more finicky going back to my standard twist lock tripod system. There is a bowl head on the tripod to help with fine adjustments of your leveling, and there is also an adjustable and removable center column. There is a 6 kilo load capacity, and the tripod is height adjustable from just under 30 centimeters to 1.7 meters, so you can cover all angles with this. The tripod and the fluid head weigh in at just over 3 kilos, so it is a bit on the heavier side. However, one of the features that I really like about this system is that it is modular. So you can remove all the legs from this tripod, and any of them can be made into a monopod and used with the SVMB mounting system, which is Zube's quick release system, which you can attach to the camera, tripod head or gimbal. Now, to give you even more stability with the monopod, you can also fit the SMV LF base, which has an awesome pedal on it for tilting and rotating, and it's also great to use on its own as a sturdy mini tripod setup. The kit that I was sent came with the S3 fluid head, which I am really enjoying using. It has a lovely smooth pan and tilt, and there's also a 3/8 threaded hole to mount accessories and an Allen key compartment that you can use to tighten the plate on your camera or to loosen off or tighten the little screws on the inside of the legs. Now, there are a couple of gripes that I do have with this tripod, but they are very minor. The first one being that the folded height is still quite high, so when I have it attached to my bag, it does stick out quite a way. Now, that is just a minor annoyance, and obviously depending on what bag you use, then that is not going to be an issue for everyone. However, for me, it's just slightly annoying with how tall it is at that folded height. Now, I do find the overall weight being just over 3 kilos a bit on the hefty side. However, I did compare this to my tripod and gimbal setup that I have been using, and there's not really too much in the way of a weight difference between them, so it is just a minor gripe that I'm having with it. Now, I am nitpicking a bit with these two minor issues that I have with the tripods, and I do feel that these are far outweighed by the benefits of the system, like the quick release and setup of the tripod, but also that it is modularity, and if I am going out on a long hike, I can just put it into the monopod mode and go out with it that way and still have the stability that I need in a more lightweight form. So if you are interested in adding a new tripod system to your own setup, then this is a good option to consider, and I shall leave a link in the description for you where you can find out more information as well as pick one up for yourself. So I've been out here in the hide for quite a while now, and I really haven't seen anything at all. What we'll do, I think, is we're going to pack up and then go for a bit of a hike around the site and see if further up I can't find potentially a location where I could put something more permanent maybe in future. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the tripod into monopod mode because I don't want to have to all up the hill with me, and it's one of the features that I really like about it is that you can easily turn it into a monopod and use the quick release system to fit either the camera on, or you can fit the fluid head on, and yeah, hopefully it was going to be a nice way around when I'm sort of walking and I want an extra better stability. So if you remember when I went out to Wixall Moss earlier in the year, it would have been great to have had it for then. And likewise, I'm going to Scotland in a few weeks' time, and being able to easily put the tripod into monopod mode, I think is going to be one of the ways I'm going to be using it quite a lot. Okay, so I am all set up in my lightweight monopod mode. I've decided to go without the fluid head today. I'm a bit dubious as to if we're going to see anything, so I feel I'm just going to leave that there, and then we can just move back and forward should we see anything. But I have to say, this is really nice, and not having to lug all of that weight around with me up this hill. If you remember back to December, I think it was, when I went out to my local nature reserve, trying to carry my gimbal head on that tripod around was a bit of a mare. But this doesn't seem too bad. It's like resting on my bag. I have wiggled it, it's nice and secure, so don't worry. It's not going to go anywhere unless I fall over. So that's more of the problem really. Yeah, this is nice. So we're going to head on up. All right, so we're aiming somewhere. I don't know if you can see, you've got these dark trees and then there's a couple of trees above them. That's where we are going to aim to get to. Tim said one day they went up there, him and a couple of members of his staff were there, and there were about 6 red kites just perched in the tree having a meeting, seemingly, which is cool. So I did take the tripod out to see the Leos, again with Ollie and Geordie. That video's not out yet, it'll be out in a few weeks. And I didn't use it as a monopod setup then, I used it as a tripod and sort of lugged it around, and it was actually fine. I was a bit worried because it is a bit on the hefty side. It's about 3 kilos, the tripod with the fluid head. But I actually got on really well with it. And I mean, we didn't walk too far. I feel like doing this with the big tripod, I wouldn't do it. But with the monopod, it's proven to be a lot easier. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a nice compromise for me of still pretty portable and easy to use, but also having a bit of extra stability, which I do still lack for video. For photos, it's not a problem, but video, I'm all wobbly, which is not what you want in your wildlife videos. So we are at the top of the hill. I say the top. We're at the point where I'm not going to walk any higher up the hill. Is a bit more of a better way to describe it. But I'm hoping that I can find an area down here which will do well for me. It looks amazing at the moment. There's like a sea of pink. I don't know what these flowers are, but they're pretty awesome. And then we'll shoot across the site or out towards the village, depending on what there is. But I feel like it's going to be a case of finding a place that I think is going to work well, that has a good background and sort of accessible, so we can get stuff here to potentially, you know, build a proper hide at some point maybe. But I think for the time being, I think we'll go down, have a look, and if I can find somewhere, I'll come back up with a Land Rover and park myself somewhere in my pop-up tent for a few hours and see what we can't see. Yeah, and then just go from there. I feel like I'm probably going to have to start putting feeders and stuff out once I find a site, just to encourage things in. Don't know if it's going to work out too well because we've got this bank here. But if I can find a flat bit that comes off of it, that might be quite handy. But as yet, it's very much not going to work, I don't think. I don't want to walk all the way down. I think it's just going to be big bank up all the way. So we'll turn around and find a spot up by the top track instead of this lower track. Right, so I'm thinking somewhere around here is probably going to be my best bet. Now it does drop off just down here, which isn't ideal, but we're close to the trees here, which we know that the buzzards and the kites have been seen perched in. And then I've got the woodland down behind me where we were a minute ago for some of the smaller birds as well. And so I think the next step would be to get Tim in to have a look and see if it's an option, because what I'd want is maybe like them to cut me a track down just a little one so I can then have a flat area to put my little pop tent hide to start with, and then maybe I'll get like a temporary hide that I can put out so the birds can get used to it and just play around with perches and feeders and things up here. If you've got any advice, can you let me know what you would do in this sort of situation? Is this even a good location for it? What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below and I'll go from there. So that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along on this scouting mission with me, and I'd also like to thank Sirui once again for sponsoring me and this video with their SVS60 Rapid System tripod. I have been really enjoying using this system, and if you are interested in learning more about the system or picking one up for yourself, there will be an affiliate link in the description. Now, like I said, it is an affiliate link, so I do earn a small amount of commission from each purchase at no additional cost to yourselves. And like I said, if you're looking for a tripod, or even if you just want to get the monopod system, it is a really good option if that is something that you are after. And I hope you enjoyed coming along with me, and I'm excited to share what happens here with you in some upcoming videos. Of course, I got a red kite coming in now I'm finishing the video. Of course, and it's gone. Now I will leave link. No!